Hannah coming to you from the Beehive. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Halloween treat card using the Halloween treat stamp set with this cute little owl right here and the matching Boo to You framelits, which are right here. This little treat card has the owl on the outside and he looks like he's going to do a trick. And then when you open the card up, there's a little treat that he's handing you on the bottom, which is just a little Hershey's bar. And the same thing for this other card. He looks like he's doing a trick on the outside, and then you open it up and he's giving you a little Hershey's treat bar. So let me show you how to make both of these cards. To start off with, you are going to need a piece of cardstock that is 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And we're going to score this. And normally, if you were going to make a card, you would score at the 4.25 inch mark. What we're going to do is we're going to score on either side of that mark. So we're going to score at the 4 1/8 inch mark. And then we're going to score at the 4 3/8 inch mark. This just allows for a slightly wider spine, which will help with the thickness of the Hershey's bar. So we're going to start off by stamping the little owl, and I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss ink. And for the colors for this card, I'm going to be using the 2014-2016 in colors. So I've got my owl inked up, and I want to stamp him about 1/2 inch from the bottom and 3/4 inch from the side. So I'm just kind of lining him up where he should be and then stamping him down. I like to leave my stamp down just a few seconds to allow the ink to contact with the cardstock to make sure I've got good coverage. And then we're going to stamp the little pumpkin in Tangelo Twist. So I've got my little pumpkin here. I'm going to ink him up, and I'm going to put him right underneath the wing of the owl on the left hand side here, like that. And then I'm going to bring in my black Stampin' Pad, my basic black, and I cut apart, let me just show you here. This stamp set comes with a greeting that is together, trick or treat. There is plenty of room to cut apart the trick from the or treat, and it just makes for a nicer card when you can put trick on the outside and or treat on the inside, because this is a fairly large greeting. So if you want to afterwards, you can match these back up again and bring them back into a whole greeting, but it really is helpful if you can stamp them in 2 pieces. So that's how I got the trick separate. Let me just center that a little better. Okay, and let's open up the basic black. And this basic black has a linen top, so it's not squishy like our other ones. So it'll be a little different. So I'm going to put trick right underneath this wing right here, like that. And then I am going to grab the little wand right here, and I'm going to ink it up like this. We're going to just overlap it on his wing like that. And then I've taken one of the 2014-2016 in color markers, and this one is the Tangelo Twist one. And I'm just going to use that to color in my star right here so it matches the little pumpkin. Just kind of easy peasy coloring. There we go. And then we're going to go to the inside of the card, and we're going to stamp the owl. Move my basic black aside and bring in my Blackberry Bliss again. And we're going to stamp the owl 1/4 inch from the top and 3/4 inch from the side. So let me ink this guy up again. So about 1/4 inch from the top and 3/4 from the side. About like that. And again, I'm just kind of holding it down for a second, giving it some pressure, and then lifting it off. And now the best thing to do to put the greeting on is you need to kind of know where your Hershey's bar is going to go. So I'm just going to lay my Hershey's bar down on the card like this, and I'm going to bring in my Or Treat. Now this little stamp has some spots that might catch the edge of the ink pad, so I also cut those two pieces off so the Or is a little bit more exposed so it won't catch an edge and transfer to the cardstock. So I'm going to bring in my basic black ink pad again, and we're just going to ink up Or Treat, and we're going to tuck him kind of, or the greeting, kind of right underneath the wing. So let me do that to make sure everything fits in there nicely. Great. And then this little Hershey's treat needs to be wrapped up, and you can decide what side of this designer series paper you would like to use. This is the Happy Haunting Designer Series paper pack. Has a whole bunch of pretty patterns. Any one of them would work well with this card. So I've cut a piece of cardstock or a piece of paper to 3 inches by 2.5 inches, and I'm going to use that to wrap around this little Hershey's bar. Now you might find these Hershey's bars that I have, they are 12 gram. If you find the smaller ones for Howl-O-Ween, you can cut your little piece of paper a little smaller if it's not quite this large. So this will be able to be used with different bar sizes of the smaller kind as well. So this is my tear and tape, and I'm just going to put along one of the shorter ends just a little piece of the tear and tape, and that's what's going to hold my cover on to the side. So I'm just going to wrap this around my bar. This. I'm trying to make sure it's fairly tight because I don't want it to slip out. It will be able to be pulled out, but I don't want it to slip out accidentally. And so then I'll just need one more piece of tear and tape. And then I can just remove the backing like that. And then I can stick this down here like that. The last thing we need to do is to fold along the score lines. So I'm just going to fold along the first one like this. And then we'll get that second one and use the bone folder to smooth out the score lines. And there you go, there's the first card. To make the second card, you will need a piece of cardstock that is 11 inches by 4¼ inches. Actually, I cut this just a little bit narrower than 4¼ inches because I found that it fit into my clear envelope better afterwards. So if you want to make this just about a 1/16 narrower, I think you'll be happier getting it into that envelope. So we are going to score this piece on either side of what you would normally score a card. Normally you would score a tent fold card at the 5½ inch mark, but we want to make it a little wider for our Hershey's bar. So we are going to score at the 5 3/8 inch mark and the 5 5/8 inch mark. Then we are going to stamp the owl in Blackberry Bliss about 1/2 inch from the bottom and 1/8 inch from the side. We need to make sure that we have enough room for the trick on the front because it's a little narrower, it's a little harder. So let me make it that 1/2 inch and 1/8. We'll stamp him down kind of in the bottom left-hand corner like that. And then we can put our ink pad aside and grab our basic black one. And we're going to cut out a hat for him to wear and cut it out using our Big Shot. So I'm going to stamp the hat in basic black over on a piece of scrap cardstock. And then I'm going to bring in my Big Shot. And this is my magnetic platform because it helps my little framelit stay in place. And I'm going to use the hat framelit from the Boo to You framelit set. I'm just going to make sure that's centered the way I want it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and run it through. And then we can pop this out. And then I'm going to take my Hello Honey marker and I'm just going to start coloring the stars. You can start coloring the headband for the hat. And to save a little time, I've already done all the coloring. And we can bring in our card again. And that little hat will go right there. So let's go ahead and stamp the rest of the front of the card. We're going to need our little wand and we're going to need our trick. So let's do the trick first. And again, I'm stamping in basic black. I'm going to put trick right here where the hat kind of comes in, like that. And then I'm going to stamp the little wand kind of off of his wing like that. And I'm going to grab my marker, and to match the stars up from the hat, let's just go ahead and color in the little star from the wand like that. I'm using the brush tip of this marker. Okay, and then you can just go ahead and take some Tombow and glue the hat onto his head. And I like to do it at an angle because I don't think the owl needs to be taken too seriously. He's just too cute. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp the inside now. And let me bring in the Blackberry Bliss again and the owl. So this time we are going to stamp him 1/4 inch from the top, and we're just going to center him on the card. So that looks about right. Okay, and then we're going to bring in our basic black again and the Or Treat. And this one, probably maybe 1/4 of an inch, no, maybe more like 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. Just gonna stamp that down there. And then again, we're gonna bring in this is a 12-gram Hershey bar. And again, I've got a little piece of designer series paper that I've cut to 3 inches by 2.5 inches. And I'm going to take, this time we're gonna do the polka dotted side this time. So I'm gonna just take a piece of the tear and tape. Nice, I don't need scissors for that at all. And pull that liner off. And then all we need to do is wrap this around the Hershey's bar. These ones are particularly puffy Hershey's bars. Just kind of wrap that around like that, and remember to make sure it's fairly tight, and that's going to go there, right down there. And then I'm just going to put a piece of tear and tape on the back to hold this down. When someone receives this, they'll be able to slide the Hershey's bar out of its little slidey thing, so it should be fairly easy to retrieve the treat. And now all we need to do is fold it along the score lines. I'm using my bone folder to reinforce that fold. Like that. And there we go. We've got one This one's the closed side. This one's the open. And we've got another one that's open. And this one is closed. Aren't those just really cute? And then what you can do is just grab a clear envelope and you can just slide it into the clear envelope. And then that makes it like a little bit more gift givable. You know, you can put this on someone's desk at work or hand them out at the school to the kids at the school. And these little clear envelopes, they already have a little, they already have adhesive on them. All you have to do is peel off the liner and then just put it like that. And this one also goes into the envelope like this, like that, and then all you have to do is just close it up. And aren't those really cute? All the supplies you'll need to make these Halloween treat cards are available for purchase on my blog. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Bye for now.